Okay, so I'm cooking dinner right now, and this is not going to be your typical, what's it called? Your typical cooking type show. I'm just kind of going to guide you through what I'm making, how I make it. But I don't have like fancy plates to show you everything in, you know. So I'm just gonna kind of talk you through it, and that way you kind of, I'll write down the recipe completely down below. So right now, Jesse and Isul are about to get home. They've been at school and it's late. It's 5:30, and they're still shopping at the store. But tomorrow is their last day of school, and Jesse's actually moving classrooms. So he has to like empty out everything and get everything ready for next year. So right now, all I did is I just cut up some lettuce. Ta-da! I'm just cutting up some lettuce to put on top of the dish, kind of. So what I have right now is, in a pan, I have cauliflower that I chopped up, and I added a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of cumin, and 2 tablespoons of Knorr tomato. So I just added all that seasoning to it, and with water, and I'm just letting them cook. So right now, I'm about to blend, it's like 1/4 of an onion, of a large onion, 2 of the Chipotle peppers that come in can. These are the San Marcos brand, and a little bit of water. Got Chipotle on my hand. So the cauliflower is basically done, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend this real quick. In my mixture, I usually put cilantro, like a whole bushel of it, but I don't have any. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, so with the cauliflower, I'm gonna empty all of it into a big container. And in the empty saucepan, I'm gonna put another 1/4 of onions to saute. To saute any vegetable, I use olive oil. So just a little drizzle. No seasonings, no anything, just like that. I also, on my stove, have some black beans, and I really like black beans in the can, the Bush's brand. Sometimes I'll make them fresh, but for the most part, the only bean that I make fresh is pinto beans. Black beans, usually I'll just eat them from the can. Okay, so this dish, I haven't mentioned it, it's actually called Tinga. Now, this is how like my family has made it, and all I do differently to make it vegetarian is, instead of chicken, I use cauliflower. And obviously it's not the same consistency, but you do it non-vegetarian and add chicken instead of the cauliflower. And the chicken, all I used to cook it in is some chicken stock and a little bit of an onion in with it. Just let it, cook all through, and then you take it out and you make it into little pieces. Cauliflower, it's really good with it. I love this dish. This is one of my favorite dishes. We recently turned vegetarian. Well, my husband did. I did it for maybe 2 weeks. But I decided that pescatarian would be a better option for me. But my husband is full-on vegetarian, so he hasn't had any meat, chicken, nothing in 3 months, and he's been doing a really good job with it. So all of our family dinners, because I don't want to cook 2 different dinners, I've basically made them all vegetarian, and this was one of my favorite dishes with chicken. So once the onions are nice and sauteed, I'll go ahead and put the sauce in first. Let that cook a little bit because the onion that I use in here is not cooked. And then I'll add the cauliflower into it and just mix it until it makes a really good consistency. And for the most part, the cauliflower, look, I'll show you, it's kind of big, but that's because cauliflower softens really quickly. So when you mix it in with everything, the cauliflower is going to get even smaller. And with the black beans, I do make those, I smash them? I don't know how you say it. And so the end of the dish is you put your tostada, you put the black beans, you put the mix of the cauliflower with the chipotle on top of that too. And then you can use any toppings you want. For toppings, we like lettuce like I showed you. I also cut up tomatoes. And then my husband, since he stopped at the store for some Gatorade, he's also stopping and getting me some Queso Fresco. You can use regular cheese, but Queso Fresco tastes really good with it. So, okay, so my onions are nice and sautéed, so it's time to add my sauce. And once I let that cook, this is when I add just a little bit more seasoning. It really depends. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of garlic salt. Sometimes I'll just add salt. Sometimes I'll add salt and pepper. It just kind of depends what your seasoning preferences are. And you never taste from the spoon. You want to add the chipotle peppers to your liking as well, not just the seasonings, because chipotle peppers, they are spicy. My daughter's watching Coco, if you hear Coco. Her obsession was Moana, but her obsession now is Coco. So after I put the cauliflower in, I just let it sit. Hopefully I can kind of show you what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So I'm just going to cover it and leave it here. Now I'm going to turn off the heat. Just going to leave it alone. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the canned beans. All they need to do is cook a little bit. Once I see them that they're cooking, I'll go ahead and turn off the heat and smash them. I wash my lettuce and my tomatoes. And don't pay attention to my mess. When I cook, my kitchen gets really messy. Okay, so I'm done with the tomatoes. So you have lettuce and 2 tomatoes. And then the Queso Fresco, I'll put it in a bowl here. And that's just what we all use to put on our toppings. To how much ever toppings you want, you just put it on top of your own tostada. All I do is I put the beans on it for Aisul, and then she puts all the toppings she wants. And then for me and Jessie, we do beans and the cauliflower mix. I love making tea, so I use the Louisiana tea. It's really good. The beans are already boiling, so I'm gonna turn it off, and then I'm gonna smush them. Smush them is better than smash them. I'm gonna let those stop bubbling, because if you smush them bubbling, you will get burned. So I'm gonna let them stop bubbling. I'll smush them, wait for Jessie to get here, and then we'll start eating, and I'll show you the tostada.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this cook with me video, and please subscribe.